Welcome to BizTalk OnxOn with myself, Fazlin, and my co-host Ardy Ismail, where we will be talking and getting involved in discussions with business owners here in Singapore and around the region to learn from them their challenges and how they overcame those challenges. And we want to prick their brains for ideas and tips in order to use them to benefit our own businesses as well. So if you're listening to us through podcasts, welcome. And if you're watching via Facebook Live telecast, let's roll in the intro.
Hey, welcome back. Welcome, guys. What's up? What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of BizTalk OnxOn with myself, Muhammad Fazlin from Mega Express International, and I'm joined here with my co-host Ardy Ismail. Hey, what's up, buddy?
Hi, guys. Good afternoon. Hello, Fazlin. Glad to be on the show again today, and I guess I'll let you do the honor of doing the intro to two of the guys that are coming on board on the show. Yep. Looking forward to what they have to share today.
Sure, Ardy, that would be my greatest pleasure, definitely. So today we have two special guests that will be joining us, and they will be talking roughly about PDPA or protection, Personal Data Protection Act or something like that. So let's find out more about what they do, and let's find out how the services that they are providing can actually benefit we as business owners and business entities, right? So without further ado, let us welcome Dexter and Andy.
Hi, guys.
Hello.
There you go. How are you doing, Andy? Sorry, Dex. Where's Andy?
Yes. I don't know. Where's
he just got locked out.
Yeah, I think we just need to wait 1
Okay,
minute.
there you go. Okay. We give him another round of applause then.
Yes.
Hey guys, thank you very much for joining us today.
Thanks for inviting us, guys. Yeah.
Yeah, how have you been? How have you guys been?
Yes, we've been good.
Cool. Yeah, it's fine
Yeah.
for us.
Okay, great. Okay, let us just show you our viewers right now a short video of what you guys literally do. Then after which we'll come back and discuss the details with you guys. Will that be okay?
Yep,
Yeah.
sure.
Sure.
There you go.
Your organization is at risk, hackers can try to deduce your password. Hackers will be able to kick you off the network just for fun. That's what minimally they can do. This is a 97% increase from 2017.
To prevent your email domain from getting spoofed, that is actually a solution.
And we protect from SMEs up to MNC level.
We are against hacking. What we aim to do is to inculcate good cyber hygiene practices, make it a good habit to always check, to always inspect your URL link.
You wouldn't know. A hacker can allow you to download malicious files without your knowledge.
Nice. Yes, Ardy.
Yeah,
You said that
I
you
think
want to
that's
ask a
great.
question.
Yeah, I see that basically you have been sharing with a lot of business owners, in that video.
Yes.
Yes.
We've been holding a lot of masterclass webinars nowadays because of COVID-19. So we have swapped from classroom style to mostly webinars now.
Okay,
Nice,
so
nice.
it seems I see a lot, Andy coming out in the front. Maybe Dexter, you are behind the curtains, is it, doing all the
Yes, I'm behind
special
the
covert
curtains.
work.
Okay, guys.
Yeah, I'm off
With the
speaker.
current COVID, yeah. Andy, you were saying?
Oh yeah, I was saying I'm more of the speaker and hosting of the webinars and also the master classes. Yeah, Dexter is our CTO. So in terms of the
Right.
operation, the technology, business development, yeah, Dexter leads that areas.
Dexter is more techy in that sense, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm the guy who goes around opening the doors and talking to companies and telling them what's wrong with their systems.
Okay, that's great because people who, those guys who open up doors may knock down doors as well, right? Okay, all right,
help
guys.
them with the doors.
Okay, guys, with the current COVID-19 situation, we know a lot of companies have transit from offline to online now. And we see a lot of them are doing or going digital, right? So a lot of them are unaware exactly what is PDPA. I almost startled earlier on exactly to what it meant actually. So why is it important, and why business owners or basically why does this act needs to be enforced, guys?
Okay. Let me share about regarding the PDPA.
Right.
So first, the PDPA stands for Personal Data Protection Act. It's
Right.
actually not something new. It's been around since 2012. Okay, so when a lot of people say, how come I never hear before? How come it's been around so long? But actually, yes, it's been around that long. And then the requirements, your obligations, okay, also haven't changed much since 2012. And one of the things to comply with the PDPA is to appoint a data protection officer, okay, also known as a DPO. And all organizations in Singapore need to comply. Okay, be it you're a one-man show, a sole proprietorship, it can be a partnership, you can be a private limited, even non-for-profit organizations and voluntary welfare organizations. As long as you collect, use, or disclose personal data, which can be with reference to your customers, your employees, even your suppliers, right? As long as you collect personal data and you use it, you have to comply to the PDPA. And actually, in the past few years, maybe not so much business owners are aware, but ever since the huge hoo-ha regarding the SingHealth issue, you guys know, right? SingHealth, a year plus back ago, even our Prime Minister's medical records were accessed multiple times. So then, the Personal Data Protection Committee, PDPC, which governs the PDPA, they came in, they did their investigations, and then, they were penalized the maximum amount, which is $1 million, right? Of course, the IT vendor themselves got the blunt of it, and also SingHealth. So then more and more businesses, start to see PDPC's enforcement. And PDPA, okay, not only affects big businesses, even small SMEs, micro businesses, lean businesses, all these are also coming out of the news more and more often. And you can see all this news on PDPC's main website. Yeah, so that's overall in a nutshell what the PDPA is. Dexter, anything to add on?
Yeah, so a lot of business owners don't know that it is also mandatory to appoint a data protection officer. Be it you're a sole proprietor, LLP, or even private limited, it is mandatory for you to appoint one data protection officer. Yeah.
So that means what you're trying to say is that SMEs, even small companies, small businesses, that is, need to engage what do you call it, data protection officer.
Yes, and I think not sure if your companies have received in your email. Accra has been sending out emails to everybody and asking everybody to register data protection officer in Accra. Yeah.
So if I so decide not to have one, what's it going to be like?
You mean the penalties?
Yeah.
Well, very straightforward. The moment you don't have a DPO appointed, okay, and you need to have a formalized process to sign off the engagement with a DPO, it can either be in-house or you can outsource this obligation. Okay. From past enforcement cases on PDPC's website, we're looking at about $5,000 to $20,000 fine. Okay.
5,000 to 20,000 fine without declaring a DPO.
Not about declaring, but not appointing a DPO.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And then on the other end, okay, one of the mandatory clauses is that all organizations should put their business contact information of their DPO, okay, online or rather publicly available. So this can be your privacy policy. And with the recent tie-up between Accra BizFile okay, the Accra Business Registry and PDPC. Now businesses
Right.
can register their DPO in Accra itself, and anyone can type in your company name. Anyone can see whether you have a DPO without even logging in via SingPass or CorpPass.
So,
Right.
so
Right.
for this DPO, right, do they need to have any qualifications, or it could just be anybody, or I'm curious on that, basically.
Okay,
Mm.
so each organization is supposed to find and to designate someone with the most experience, someone who is fit and proper to be able to take on this responsibility. So most of the time, if a business is looking at someone in-house, okay, then this will be a management level position, because he has to identify and understand all the business activities ongoing on a day-to-day basis. He has to know the processes. He must be able to also make management decisions, identify risks, and make certain decisions that will enhance or change how the business is run.
Right, right. Okay, so I'm a little clear about a data protection officer and why a company needs to appoint one. Okay, guys, we all know about going digital and stuff like that. So we see a lot of companies now are having their own online marketplace, right? Like say for example, me myself and Ardy, we came out with Halal Market and all that. All right, so not many companies realize that with opening up an online marketplace, the databases like your clients and even your shoppers, all these are data, right? And not many realize that these data are really really important. How important it is for a company to safekeep all these databases.
Okay, maybe I'll answer this. So a lot of companies nowadays are launching e-commerce websites, going digital, right?
Correct.
Because of COVID-19. So, and a lot of them are like hiring developers from India, Vietnam, just because it's cheap. And a lot of these companies overseas actually don't care much about your security. So a lot of these codes are actually having a lot of bugs. So how do you fix these bugs? Is actually you need to get some security company like us, or you hire a white hat hacker to actually test your systems, and then we will check whether there's any vulnerabilities, whether they can make free purchases, whether they can even get access to your database from your website.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So Dex, what you're trying to say is that you need hackers yourself in order to find out, whether there are other hackers hacking your accounts and your system.
What the term is normally is called penetration test. So we actually in PDPA actually they actually advocate you to, before you launch your website live, you actually should be doing a penetration test before even going live. Yeah, because if not, if in event of data breach, you need to report within 72 hours to PDPC of the breach. And after you report, when they do their investigation, they will actually ask you, where's your penetration test report? And if you don't have one, you're gonna definitely be fined. Yeah.
Right, right.
And I also like to add on, that there's under one of the 9 obligations of the TBPA is the transfer limitation. Okay, so actually any organization in Singapore, if you want to transfer personal data, okay, cross-border, that means out of Singapore, okay, you have to ensure that the receiving entity, okay, or the country has relevant data protection laws equivalent, okay, or higher standards than our PDPA. So, to save costs, a lot of businesses, like what Dexter mentioned, they would engage overseas web development firms because it's cheaper, right? So we're talking about India and Vietnam. These are the 2 most popular, places that people go to build websites or their applications. And then because the developers will have access to your database when they are continuously enhancing your application, building your website, and your contact form on your website would gather leads, will gather the name, email, maybe number, and description, right? So when these web developers are building your website for you, for example, you need to ensure that even before the engagement, you already determine that, even if that country doesn't have relevant data protection laws, but that entity itself must sign with you certain contracts and agreements, okay, to prove and also to state that they comply and they have the relevant protections in place. If not, if a data breach happens even on the developer's end, okay, for example, PDBC will come after you and ask you, okay, why do you engage this web developer? You can say, oh, cheaper cost, fine. Then they ask you, do you do all the due diligence? Do they comply to the PDPA before engaging them? that's when all the issues were coming, and penalties, of
I
course.
see. I see. Okay, there is one comment from one of our viewers right now, and his name is Rafi Ansari. He's actually a business coach within our community. There is, and a lot of companies engaged him, to coach them in their business journey. So he was saying like hacking is a real problem to SMEs, right? And his website was in fact being hacked, and they were just doing it for fun, literally. Of course, basically hackers just want to see how good they are, right? And of course, they will do it for fun and stuff like that. So, guys, hacking is a real issue right now. And has it been increased over the years? Because we see a lot of hacking issues and hacking activities being, especially during this COVID-19 situation.
So
That is.
it's definitely increased because everybody is now finally going digital. Because if they don't go digital, they will just get wiped out by the COVID-19 issues. They won't be able to even make money because, like, let's say during lockdown, your business is stuck if you are not online, right? Yeah.
Right.
So now that more and more websites are going online, it's basically more and more targets for the hackers to target. And there's also a search engine for hackers to look for vulnerable websites called Shodan. So a lot of people don't know. Or the misconception is that a lot of small business owners say, "Oh, I'm so small. The hacker is not going to target me. I maybe only a $5,000 a month, $3,000 a month business. Why would they come and target me?" But they don't know that the hackers actually can just search all the list of vulnerable websites from the search engine itself. Just by example, I just need to type in the WordPress version, and it will show me all the WordPress using the exact old version with the same vulnerability. That's just one example. Or even a plugin. I can just type the vulnerable plugin name and it will show me all the websites using that plugin. Yeah.
And these are fly by night kind of hacker. Those kind of hackers who are in their teens, for example, they do it for fun. Just want to see how skillful they are and all that. Just imagine if those hackers who have been around for a number of years and they literally would hack your system in order to gather in, or steal away your information and all that. So that is a scary thought, isn't it?
Yeah. So now the most common one would be they take a backup of your database and then they will contact you and then ask you for a ransom for Bitcoins. They ask you to send Bitcoin and then they will release your data back to you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So those recent message that we receive,
yeah.
Those recent messages that we receive and all that.
Okay, so it can be individual or even a team. So there is many groups out there, not only like 1 or 2 person. There's actually a lot of people out there just every day just going online looking for targets and then trying to ask for BTC ransom. That's quite a norm nowadays. Yeah.
Okay, when you mention ransoms, like what's the ransom like?
So far, the most common one would be they ask for like 0.3 BTC or even 1 BTC. Usually, it ranges around there, depending on how big you are. If you are very big, and let's say if you are as big as a hospital or a well-known hospital or even a well-known brand, like let's say you're Apple or Google, they'll definitely demand millions and millions of dollars. Yeah.
Millions of dollars in BTC or millions of dollars in cash?
Usually they will ask for BTC so that there's no trace back to them.
Okay. But can you really use BTC or not?
Yeah, because they have their own ways to cash out their BTC back to money and anonymously. Yeah.
Yeah, I also like to add on and to stress the point when Dexter mentioned, that it is so easy now to identify which websites out there are vulnerable and would be, easily hackable. So what he's also trying to say is that there are automated tools that by putting in simple parameters like this certain WordPress version, which from recent updates that this version is vulnerable, please update to the latest one. Or this certain plugin, is vulnerable, please update to the latest version. So hackers will make use of this opportunity to quickly, scan the whole World Wide Web. Okay, for business websites, they are still not updated yet. Okay, so there are automated tools that they can use to straight away have a list of targets. They don't have to specifically or manually go and find out businesses, websites that are still vulnerable. So everything is so fast, so easy that business owners, should really have the thinking that they could be next. There is no oh, I'm a small business kind of mentality, no one's coming after me. The hacker don't have to know about you. He just have to do a quick search. He will get to know about you. So he can either disrupt your business, he can cause you inconvenience, he can hold you ransom, or even blackmail you and release your data online. That's when the relevant data protection, for example, PDPC, okay, relevant data protection legislator will come in and fine you, because they say, how come you don't have adequate security on your website? They don't care that hacker come and hack you. Did you do your pen test in the first place? Do you identify any vulnerabilities? Do you update your website? So all these kind of things, when businesses go digital, they have to keep an eye out for and constantly monitor. Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of businesses. Yeah, Adi, let Adi go first because I can see that he wants to ask.
I'm thinking that not all business owners, basically, the small ones especially, right? They don't have the technical skills and all that. And I guess being hacked, having your website hacked, right, can be quite a thing. It's like, it can actually give a lot of stress, right, to the business owners.
Especially defacement.
Correct.
So the most common one would be everybody is using cheap WordPress. I'm sure you all heard of WordPress before, right? Almost every India web developer or Vietnamese web developer would be selling you, oh, you want to make a 5-page website? Okay, we'll just do it on WordPress. Or you want to make an e-commerce website or food ordering website? We also just do it on WordPress. But a lot is cheap to implement, but it's also the most popular because it's cheap. So the hacker will always target these popular platforms.
Right.
Yeah. So
there's not only. Yeah, you were saying, Dex?
Okay, so just because it's cheap but it's actually quite expensive and time consuming to maintain a WordPress website, because there's always updates for plugins or even your themes or even the whole WordPress version itself needs to be updated whenever there's a new vulnerability being found.
So is it better to use sites?
Sorry?
Yeah, Adi.
Is it better to use sites like Wix or Shopify? Would those actually be vulnerable as well?
No, it's actually all the same. There will always be version updates. You need to monitor, make sure your site is up to date. And no matter what website you use, there will definitely be vulnerabilities, especially if you're going to use a overseas outsource vendor. Because their top priority is to faster build your website, not to make it secure. They just want to faster finish your project, get their payment, and they just hand over the website to you. That's their main priority. Yeah, and quite a lot of them are using junior developers in their country just to make the most profit out of you. Yeah. So security is definitely not their top priority, and we definitely recommend you to at least do a pen test before launching your website, or if you have one and you have not done any pen test and you're holding a lot of data, or you have some e-commerce website that is collecting payments and data, you definitely need to do a pen test.
Yeah. Okay, that's a real scary thought, because I have to admit that I am one of those who seldom update my plugins.
Yes,
my company website use WordPress. And I'm sure I'm not alone.
Definitely.
Because there's so many plugins, right? Because there's so many things that needs to up to date very often. And you don't really monitor it every single day, because you are busy with other stuff and all that. But I think it is a form of responsibility when companies wants to go online or really gone digital. It is a responsibility for you to really take note of all these, because if not, it will really affect you, and you will be chased by the relevant agencies as well if you fail to have a proper security being set up for your particular company in that sense, right? Guys, a lot of people have been saying firewalls and antivirus, because I have for example, if I'm from a certain company and I say, okay, I have all the relevant antiviruses, I have all the relevant firewalls. So the question is, are they being adequately protected in that sense?
Okay, so maybe I'll answer this as well. So basically, firewalls are now almost a norm. It's definitely compulsory nowadays, especially if you're holding a lot of data in your company or in your company servers. That is like a must-have. Even antivirus nowadays also is a must-have. But even the Windows Defender is also good enough, better than nothing. You should not be using nothing at all. But there are many attacks that can bypass all of this. So one example would be a phishing email. a phishing email will bypass all your firewalls because the guy who is going to click and open that malicious file or document with the virus codes, he has already gone past all your firewalls and your antivirus. Yeah.
Right.
So nowadays, this is also, I mean, if you see in the recent news, there's even during this COVID-19, there's a lot of phishing attacks going on. They make use of the COVID-19 news and say like, hey, because of COVID-19, work from home, please update your password now that you're working from home and stuff like that. And then they use it to steal your passwords. So when they have access to your password and accounts, there's no firewall that can block it because they were just acting as you logging into the system from home. Yeah.
Yeah, but so to answer a question as well, you're asking if firewalls, and antivirus,
Right.
are they together adequately
Yeah.
protective enough of your system, right? These two, the answer would clearly be no, because like what Dexter said, there's so many ways, to perform an attack vector. Can be a phishing email, can be compromising your website, putting a file into your database, that only endpoint protection itself will not be able to cover you. Yeah, so these are minimally as good practices what all businesses should install on their servers, on their endpoints, on their computers. But then again, there's a lot more to watch out for and to be aware about. For example, your internal processes, okay, your policies, how you, when you receive a file or an unknown email or a phishing email, you know how to spot it, right? If you see, for example, even a thumb drive lying around, with the word HR or salary, don't go and take it and put into your computer thinking, oh, want to be capo and see other people's salary. This may be left around by a hacker, right? Then the moment you install only, then kena already, right? All the malicious software auto download into your computer, spreads to everywhere. So there's a lot of things to be aware that, companies should send their employees for proper training to understand more or less the full scope of how they should have good cyber hygiene practices in place. Yeah, not only just having the physical installation of software, because to be honest, right, you're only as strong as your weakest link, and in any organization, the weakest link is actually humans. Okay, not the technology. Yeah.
Okay, you mentioned about training and stuff. Do you guys do training as well?
Yes, of course. We have our cyber hygiene masterclass, and then we also do PDPA corporate compliance and awareness trainings. Yeah.
Okay.
We can put all this in the show notes later.
Okay, great. Because a lot of business owners who's tuning in right now might have this impression that a penetration test or pen test in short, and even training, might be very costly. So I don't think so, right? In that sense, how much are you guys charging per company in that sense for that?
For pen test pricing?
For example, a training. Yeah.
Okay, for our training wise, for corporate training, whereby we customize let's talk about PDPA first, yeah? For PDPA. Right. So we customize the courseware a little bit to suit your industry, your organization. Okay, after understanding what you guys do, we are charging about $650. Okay, per pax. Okay. But now, because of the COVID period, whereby we are doing webinar style, we came out with a generic PDPA course that covers all the obligations, your responsibilities, what you must know. Okay, and it's only $199. Okay, $199 per pax.
Wow.
Yeah.
$199 only.
Yeah.
Yes.
Per person in a company. Yeah. So that one will cover all the PDPA obligations that any employee is supposed to know. And whereas the 650 we are still doing, but it's more customized. So let's say you're a handphone shop compared to an online restaurant. Yeah, the PDPA training is completely different because the way you're going to store your data, the way you're going to collect the data, how is your guys going to use the data is completely different. So we will train you based on your specific industry. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
Ardy, do you have anything?
Yeah. So if let's say, right, after going through your course and then and their website still gets attacked, I mean, would they be able to actually come to you for consultation or anything like that?
Yeah, definitely. We actually don't charge for consultation, but we only charge for our services. So we will always recommend you should always at least do it. Let's say you cannot afford pen test every year, but you should at least do it once after every major upgrade to your website. You definitely should do your pen test. Yeah.
And that leads to the question of how much does a pen test cost?
Okay, so normally in the market it costs around 8,000 onwards for one pen test, but
okay.
we are willing to go down to like $5,000 for all to help out all these SMEs out there. Yeah.
Right. 5K out of 8K. That is how much
Yeah.
you're offering.
So it's like a 3K discount to all
Yeah,
SMEs.
that's a lot,
out there.
bro.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's.
Yeah.
I mean, 5K is good value for money, definitely. Yeah. Right. Is it
Yes.
for only our viewers who's tuning in right now, or basically you're opening it all across the board?
We are now opening it across the board for everyone, but then we can give like a slight further discount for your viewers as well. Yeah.
Okay, that's great. That's
Thank
the
you so
reason
much.
for my question,
Yeah.
actually.
Okay. Yeah. We will support your community. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, so guys, we've reached halftime. So we'll get to know a little bit more about that promotion that you guys are offering later on the second half. All right, will that do?
Sure.
So we'll come
Yeah,
back after these
sure.
short messages then.
Okay.
Sure.
Welcome to BizTalk OnxOn with myself, Fazlin, and my co-host Ardy Ismail, where we will be talking and getting involved in discussions with business owners here in Singapore and around the region to learn from them their challenges and how they overcame those challenges. And we want to prick their brains for ideas and tips in order to use them to benefit our own businesses as well. So if you're listening to us through podcasts, welcome. And if you're watching via Facebook Live telecast, let's roll in the intro.
Your organization is at risk. Hackers can try to deduce your password. Hackers would be able to kick you off the network just for fun. That's what minimally they can do. This is a 97% increase from 2017.
To prevent your email domain from getting spoofed, that is actually a solution.
And we protect from SMEs up to MNC level.
We are against hacking. What we aim to do is to inculcate good cyber hygiene practices, make it a good habit to always check, to always inspect your URL link.
You wouldn't know a hacker can allow you to download malicious files without your knowledge.
Nice. All right, so welcome back, guys. Welcome back to our BizTalk on session today. All right, so we are talking to both Andy and Dexter from HandyAct.me, right? And what they do is basically they are very much against hackers, and all that. So they have attractive offers for all our viewers today. So do stay tuned, right? All right, let's go to our viewers right now because there are some questions from Rafi again. He was asking whether are there any government grants for cybersecurity? Okay.
Yeah. So the current government grant out there will only cover. Sorry, there's some echo. Okay, so the government grants out there would be the data protection trust marks certification. Yeah, I think Andy can share more about that.
Yes, so there is a certification process, and it's called DPTM, Data Protection Trust Marks. Okay, this would enable companies who are very confident of their PDPA compliance and more, okay, to go for this certification, kind of like an ISO.
Right.
Okay, government's also actively, promoting this, that organizations should go for this certification, so that this will help them in terms of, being competitive in the market, being retaining more customer trust and loyalty for your business, and also your consumers would be able to tell that you guys have gotten this certification, you guys are properly governing and protecting their personal data that you value, okay, the PDPA. So there's grants that companies can go for, And even the assessment fee, the audit fee is also supportable, okay, up to 80%. So, which is quite a huge amount of grant support.
Oh, okay.
I think 80% is quite a lot.
Yeah,
Quite a lot of
It is,
support.
it is.
Yeah.
But usually, how much can they get?
We cannot say this on air, but then there are of course more or less percentages of the typical amount of support that companies can get. But again, the grant support is up to 80%. Sometimes it can be slightly lower. Yeah.
Okay.
I see. Right. Okay. Guys. Okay. As a business owners ourselves, we all know that competitors plays a very important part in how we do business, isn't it? Right. So,
Yeah.
what are the possibilities that our business rivals and our competitors engaging hackers just to steal data and information from us? What do you guys think? Or if you guys have any real life accounts that you guys want to share, please do so.
Okay. I would say for businesses or rivals to go and engage, malicious hackers, so black hat hackers, to come after you to, dig up whatever they can about your website, try to extract your database, try to, even vandalize your website. Okay, this will require a budget. So I would say for very small or even just small SMEs wouldn't really go through this. They wouldn't engage because you need to spend money, right? Just to try to take you down or
Right.
cause inconvenience for you. More of the bigger firms may go this. But all this is normally, very hush. And you can see even on the news, sometimes you see the word state-sponsored hacking activities, state-sponsored. Okay, this means there's actually very big backing. That is, it is an organized hacking syndicate or event. Okay, that is sponsored by certain large companies, MNCs, or even governments. Okay, there's hacking, other governments or spying, etc. So, Dex, you want to share more on this?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Dex.
I mean, so you're asking for the possibilities between business rivals and competitors engaging hackers, right?
Yeah, to hack each
Right.
other.
Yeah. So in Singapore, it's not very common, but in overseas, it's definitely super common. So Singapore business owners shouldn't need to worry so much about overseas, but competitors hiring hackers to hack you. Yeah. But more of I think nowadays there are more of whistleblowing that you do not have a data protection officer in your company. That would be the easiest way. So a lot of people
You're
are
letting
asking
out a
like,
secret.
yeah, because it's so easy now to check whether you have a data protection officer or not. You just need to go to your website. On your website, you don't display who is your data protection officer. We know that straight away anybody will know that your company is not trained or even prepared
Right.
for PDPA, because you are supposed to put the DPO's contact on your website in the privacy policy.
Right.
Yeah.
I think
so
even for
the-
e-commerce websites, especially when you want to make the payment and all that, you can see that the website doesn't have a proper SSL certificates and stuff like that. And
there's-
definitely for sure this company doesn't have
Yes,
a data
that's-
protection officer, because that
that's the worst.
DPO doesn't actually, ensure
Yeah.
that this company has the proper
Yeah.
SSL certificates and stuff, right?
I mean, to make it more layman, for those who don't know, if you have an e-commerce website with no SSL, means that everything is transmitted in clear text. So you could actually, all the hackers in, let's say in the same Wi-Fi network as you. So let's say if you're
Right.
doing some shopping in Starbucks Wi-Fi, they can actually see what you are transacting on that website that has no SSL cert. Yeah.
Right. Oh, that is a scary thought, really.
Yeah.
Alright. Okay, guys. Because a lot of people have been asking me about pen tests and stuff like that, penetration tests and all that.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about that. Yeah.
Sure.
You guys mentioned that you are offering penetration tests and all that, and I understand that you guys use real hackers themselves in order to conduct this pen test, correct?
Yeah, that's right. So
Tell
we
us
actually
more about it. Yeah.
Yeah, so the hackers that we actually use are firstly CREST certified hackers, which is what Singapore is actually promoting nowadays as the standard.
Okay.
Yeah, whereas the overseas standard would be a certificate called OSCP. Yeah, it's called Offensive Security Certified Professional. Yeah. So it's actually the equivalent of CREST certification nowadays. So the government will actually ask those who already has OSCP to convert over to a to be CREST certified. Yeah. So these are the kind of hackers we use, as well as their background is also, they are also the Hall of Fame on Google, Facebook, Dropbox, and all this. Yeah. So they are actually quite really good in what they do.
When you say Hall of Fame, what does that mean? How do you get to be in the Hall of Fame?
Okay, so in Singapore, it's not that popular yet. It's in overseas. There's this thing called bug bounty. So all these hackers actually participate in this bug bounty program where they report vulnerabilities to the big companies, and the big companies will actually reward them with money for reporting a specific bug. So depends on how severe the bug is, you get more money. So it's rated P1 to P5. So the P1 would be the most highest paid bug, which probably most of the time is like database issues where you could take out all the users' info and stuff like that. So you'll get paid based on the P1 value. Yeah. So all these.
So the P5 is the highest paid hackers.
No, P1 is the highest. P5 is the lowest.
P1 is the highest paid hackers. Right.
So P5 bug type of bugs is sometimes they don't even give you money. They probably give you like free t-shirt for like maybe a free Google t-shirt, some white hat hacker t-shirt to say that, or even put you onto the Hall of Fame. Yeah, for the P5. Yeah.
So is there like a thing going on between the black hat hackers and the white hat hackers? It's like, do they have a war of sorts?
No. So actually, majority of the white hat hackers nowadays are participating in all these bug bounty programs, whereas the black hat, they don't even bother to participate. So there's a misconception where these programs are actually, you don't know who is a white hat or who is a black hat. But if the guy who is a black, he doesn't even need to participate in your bug bounty platform to try to hack you. Yeah. Whereas the white hat would just follow the rules that you stated in the bug bounty. It's called the scope. Yeah. So they will actually follow the scope that you have set in your bug bounty program. Yeah. So this is what the difference between the white hat and the black hat. Whereas the black hat they don't care about your scope. They will just target every single thing that is part of your company. Yeah.
Ardy, I'd like to cover your question as well. Because it's an interesting perspective, right? You're asking, is there a war going on between the black hat and white hat? In a way, you can also say, kind of. And why do I say that? Is because, like what Dexter mentioned, right? Your website, your application, or your mobile app is really internet facing, correct? Yeah. So the black hat hackers, the malicious hackers, they don't need your permission. They can just hack you, correct? White hat hackers, on the other hand, these guys, they have they are ethical hackers, so they follow your scope. They don't anyhow hack people for no reason and then disclose it. So basically, when you're asking if there's a war, okay, WAR, so businesses would engage white hat hackers or engage firms like us, okay, to do the hacking, okay, using white hat methodology to identify any vulnerabilities, any risks, any bugs before the black hat hackers can come in. So this may be the war that you're talking about. The white hat hackers hack you legally to find out if there's any bugs, so you quickly patch it up before the black hat hackers can come in to hack you, because then the same bugs will have already been fixed, so you are more safer. Yeah.
Okay. Is there ever a chance that a white hat hacker can turn to the dark side?
Yeah. Being gray in that sense. I don't want to be black. I don't want to be white. I want to become gray.
Yeah. So there's such thing as a gray hat hacker. So gray hat hacker is usually daytime he's a white hat hacker working for a company doing his job, whereas nighttime he's going around hunting on other websites that he's not supposed to. Yeah, these
kind of hackers are utterly confused, isn't it?
Yeah.
And it's also like thinking, can a policeman become a robber one day? It's the same ideology. So
I used to be a police officer. I don't ever even think of being a robber. Yeah, but I don't know. Yeah. Okay, one of the more popular hackers nowadays, because they have always been in the limelight, right? And we all know who they are, and they are called anonymous, right? So what are they? Yeah. Are they black hats or white hats or even grey?
So those are they are activists. They are the activist type of hackers. They are not there for monetary gain. Right. They are there just to maybe something that they believe in, like human rights or something, then they will just go and hack all those people who are against human rights or who have violated human rights. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, we can't condemn or
Yeah.
compliment them over air also, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
because then, yeah, later one of them is watching the video. Yeah, we get into unnecessary trouble as well. So yeah,
I
the
see.
activists, they believe in what they believe in, so they're not there for the monetary gains. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
like
see. So
business
I guess
owners,
there's a lot of reasons why anybody would want to go to be a black hat or white hat hacker, right? So I think it's like the most important thing is that for business owners, they need to understand that, you know, if there's ever, they need to take care of their websites, and they need to have somebody to really take into account their websites and to be, you know, accountable to it. At the same time, if let's say a business owner has his website hacked, what, you know, you can't call 999 and ask the police to help you. So is there a number that they can call, or anybody they can go to
you
Or
mean
any
when they
logo that
get
they can
hacked?
shine on,
when they get hacked and in
Just
an
like Batman.
emergency situation, for example?
Okay, so when you get hacked in Singapore, that you can report it to CSA, Cybersecurity Agency of Singapore. But in the end, they will just point you to tell you, like, they will recommend you, like, you need to faster go and do a pen test and all the usual stuff. So you would definitely still need to find a cybersecurity company to help you out. There isn't like a free help desk where the government will do the service for you for free. It's not going to happen. Yeah.
Right. There's no way they are going to conduct an investigation or anything unless,
Yes,
of course, it involves millions of dollars, lah, right?
No, I mean, even if it involves millions of dollars, they are not going to investigate for you. So yeah, they're just going to ask you to go and pay for your own cybersecurity company to go and investigate and find out what's wrong. Yeah, only unless you lost some state secrets, then they will probably investigate for you. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think for our viewers and our listeners right now, this is definitely the right time to engage antiact.me, isn't it?
Yeah, we purposely make ourselves affordable. Yeah, for all SMEs.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and that goes to the question, what is your unique selling proposition or USP? What differs you from the other anti-hack companies out there?
A lot of the companies out there are more focused on the big boys. Like, imagine those small SMEs, usually they don't really bother to entertain you guys. Whereas ours, we don't care whether you big or small. We are out there just to help you. So we will definitely go and, the same way we treat our big clients, we will definitely be treating you as well. We enjoy finding all the bugs on your website. So we want to find as many bugs as we can for you to fix your website. Yeah.
Right.
With your permission, of course.
Yeah,
With your permission.
Yeah. So, and a lot of times I tell the SME owners, don't bother trying to set so much rules, because the black hat hackers has no rules. Why would you want to put so many rules onto a pen tester when he's supposed to find out all the vulnerabilities on your website or even mobile app? So for me, I prefer to not set any funny rules like, or you should only test this part of the website, or you should only test this server, don't touch the other server. Yeah.
Right.
So that's one of the biggest issues nowadays when we are doing projects. There are clients who set too much rules, and we tell them that when the black hat is gonna attack you, there's no rules at all. Yeah.
What we are saying also is that businesses shouldn't restrict their scope too much. Okay, in fact, if they don't restrict it, it's even better. So along the way, when we're doing the penetration test, we may find other vulnerabilities or linkage to other sites or your different servers, different points of entry. If you restrict the scope, then we do the pen test only on this defined scope. In case there's a vulnerability outside, which we never do the test for it, so we won't know. When you get a data breach, and then the client may say, hey, how come I still get data breach? How come I still gonna hack? You guys did a pen test. Then we'll come in this process of ding dong, because you set the restricted scope. We're not able to find anything outside that you ask us not to touch. So we want to avoid all this, and it's always best to leave it open. So we'll come to you and tell you everything that you're vulnerable for. Yeah.
I see. Yeah, Ardy?
Yeah. So basically, most companies, I guess, they have certain servers where they think nobody should go and touch, right? So that's why they are afraid of you guys even doing the test. Maybe you can inform our audience that the pen test is actually quite safe. It does not disrupt the data or anything like that. Can you give that, can you convince them?
Yes.
On that?
Normally, we definitely would ask clients to put a staging server. So we actually pen test on the full one-to-one copied staging server. So it doesn't affect their live server at all. And let's say in event they really cannot do a staging server, we will be able to pen test on the live production server without any downtime at all, because we do not really do DDoS attacks and such stuff that disrupts the business. So we are more of testing for vulnerabilities in the codes or in the business logics and stuff like that.
Yeah, and even when we are able to access your admin panel or your database, the pen test attack vector for that particular vulnerability stops right there. We will take the screenshot, we will document down a proof of concept of how we are able to access the sensitive data, and we stop there and we move on to the next item to be pen test on, or other vulnerabilities to be tested on. So we will not modify any of your data and whatnot, so there is no disruption to your business or your website.
Right.
Right. I mean, yeah, Ardy, you were saying?
No, go ahead, Fazlin, go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. For me, I'm very assured because I understand where you guys are coming from, because you need hackers in order to find hackers, right? Same goes to me. I mean, I've already mentioned that I used to be a police officer, and you have to think like a robber, in order to trace one, right? So, but that leaves me in, that feeling of how assured should I be, knowing that there are real hackers coming in and to check my system for those pen tests and stuff like that. Yeah.
I mean, we are also protected by contract. So we are a Singapore company. So we have proper contracts in place to make sure that none of your stuff are being leaked out and etc. And we are also in advocating PDPA. We are actively promoting PDPA. So we definitely would our top priority is to make sure your data is not being lost. Yeah.
Okay.
So so other than having NDAs, confidentiality agreements in place and certain clauses, but also because we are using ethical hackers only, and the most important thing that we always tell our clients is that you're asking us how safe can you trust us or our hackers, for example, but then you should be asking yourself that online hackers, because your website is internet facing already, the black hat hackers don't even need your permission, right? So then these black hat hackers can already hack you anytime, even when you're sleeping. So all the more, okay, your concern shouldn't be about how safe can you really trust us, but can we quickly come in and think like like you mentioned, a robber or black hat hacker, quickly find the vulnerabilities and for developers to patch it up, so that then those uninvited guests, malicious hackers, they come in, it's like too late for them already. Yeah, everything has been fixed, so you are more safer.
I see. Right. All right. So let's say if I'm a company that very much interested to engage you guys right now. So let's talk about your offers and what discounts that you have for our listeners and our viewers right now. So one of them is actually the, let's take a look at that, the 5K pen test, right? Normally it's 8K, right? So you guys are offering 5K across the board right now. So what's the special discount for our listeners and our viewers today?
I think we will be able to do it for 4,500 for your special price for your listeners.
4,500.
It's definitely the lowest in the market, really. Yeah.
4,500. Yeah. So our fellow listeners and viewers right now, let's give them a range, lah. Not for today. Maybe for the next 7 days, or maybe for the next 2 weeks, for example. This promotion that you're having, $4,500.
We are okay to give it the whole month.
$4,500.
Yeah. We can give it the whole of next month. Yeah.
The whole month is fine. August special. Yeah.
Yeah, the whole August.
That's great. August special. $4,500. Normally you'll charge it $8,000, but that's nearly half of that amount right now. So if you guys are very much interested, this is the time for you guys to engage Anti-Hack Me. So not only that, they do have other promotions as well, and this is one of them, right?
Yeah.
So
Andy will say the rest of the promotions.
Yeah. So typically for our data protection officer as a service, we call it DPO as a service, right? It's an outsourced data protection officer that we provide for our clients, for businesses. Okay, there's a whole list of items that we'll do for you to protect you, to address your PDPA obligations. Okay, which includes we go down to your office biannually, so we will perform 2 surprise audits. We'll go around, take pictures, we'll identify the risky areas, we'll generate a report, okay, to management, so that then certain decisions can be made to enhance certain processes. Okay, we will provide a named individual as your DPO in Accra BizFile. We will, get you to apply for the PDPC's corporate e-learning, so that all your employees, especially those that handle personal data on a day-to-day basis, will complete the courseware and export out your results. Okay, this will fulfill your training obligation to keep everyone updated on PDPA and aware. Okay, we also add our clients' employees to a monthly PDPA newsletter to keep them updated on any latest regulations, news, breaches. And also, we will, most importantly, and which is the biggest problem that all businesses face, is that we will draft out for you all your necessary documents and policies that you require. This is typically 13 to 15 such documentation. I can tell you about 99% of all businesses never heard before of this documentation before, don't even know how to draft it. Okay, so we have this in place. We understand what your business does, how we collect, use, process personal data, and then we'll draft this for you. In the event of a data breach, right, or certain documents can be requested by the public, okay, you will need to show all this documentation. Okay, and one more thing that I like to share, that I always love sharing this about the PDPA, is that under the PDPA, any individual can come up to you as a business, okay, and say, in the past 1 year leading up to today, what is the personal data you have about me? How have you used it? And who have you disclosed it to? Okay, so under the PDPA, you as an organization, you're obligated to reply them, okay? But can you imagine tomorrow 100 of such people come up to you and ask you, correct? Then you don't even need to run your business anymore. You just easily replying all of them. So actually, you should also know that you can levy or you can charge an administrative fee. Okay, you can say, hi, Andy, to process your personal data access request, I'll be charging you a $100 admin fee. Okay, once you have made this payment, we will then get back to you maybe in 14 days on your questions, for example. So all these kind of things, okay, you must know your obligations both as an individual and as an organization under the PDPA. So there's also, certain processes that must be formalized. So we, as your outsourced data protection officer, will settle all this for you. And going back to the pricing, is normally we charge the professional fees start at $2,500 per year. Okay, just for our listeners right, and for your viewers, we are giving you an offer of $2K per year. So it's a $500 discount. And we also offer installment plans in place. Yeah.
Okay, right.
Was that a lot to absorb, right?
It's quite a bit, actually.
It's quite a handful. Now look at the third promotion, because Dexter was saying was it Andy? I think you mentioned about 199, right? For the PDPA training.
Yes.
The 4-hour training, correct?
Yeah. Right. So that one
you're gonna better that, right?
Yeah, we're gonna give it to you for $150.
Right. For $150 PDPA 4-hour training. If you think 199 is cheap, 150 is even better lah. It's much cheaper.
Yeah.
Much cheaper. Usual price is 650, isn't it? Right.
Yep.
And our trainees, our companies can send their employees, okay, for the training now. It's so convenient. We are using Google Meets, okay, whereby we'll organize a webinar. It's a live training. Questions can be asked as Q&A. We'll go through our slides. We'll cover case studies. Okay, it's very interactive. So there's no value loss in terms of courseware delivery. Okay, now with going digital, right, online video conferencing. That's why the price we can also drop it to be able to target more people joining the class at the same time.
Okay, great. All right, so just a moment, yeah. Okay, this is the one I want to talk about. Okay, so for all our listeners and our viewers, if you guys are interested, please, all these 3 promotions, 5K for the pen test, $2,000 per year for the DPO or Data Protection Officer as a service, right? And $150 for your PDPA 4-hour training. All these 3 promotions that antihack.me is promoting right now, you guys can enjoy it by just quoting them BizTalk or the word BizTalk, right? Would that be okay for you guys?
Yes, we're okay.
What do you think, Ardy?
I think it's
Sounds
awesome.
good. Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Because I think
amazing.
this,
All right,
this
so
service is definitely much needed by many business owners, and I guess that's why we are doing this show with you guys, so that to create the awareness as well of PDPA, cybersecurity, and all the things that we have discussed today. And also with all these great offers, I hope that their businesses are protected, and they can continue to actually make profits especially in this COVID-19 situation.
Yeah.
correct.
So
Correct.
from our side also,
Alright,
we
so
hope that,
guys,
a lot of
Yeah,
takeaways and that we shared something valuable to our listeners. And thank you for hosting us and organizing this. Yeah. So back to you, Faslin.
sure. Andy and Dex, any last words for any advice for our business owners right there before we go?
Last words would be the top priority would be quickly engage a data protection officer or appoint one within your company. That would be like the top priority now to
Because
find out.
it's mandatory. Yeah.
Correct.
And for me, yeah, my sentiments are along with Dexter. So quickly appoint a DPO, get yourself covered, because anyone now can go to AkraBiz file, type in your company name. Okay, they can see that whether you're appointed and register your DPO, and easily go to PDPC's website to make a complaint. And then you get into trouble for nothing. PDPC will ask you, where are your documentation, your appointment letter, do you have PDPA compliance in place? Okay, this is going to put a drag and a strain onto your business. Okay, so we don't want all these, local companies subboing other local companies. Okay, because now it's so easy to do so. Okay, everyone should quickly appoint a DPO and then get your PDPA compliance in place.
Okay, right.
Crashed.
Okay, Dexter, you are back.
Yeah.
I thought I was the
Okay, guys.
I became the spotlight suddenly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, guys. All right. We really appreciate that you guys coming into the show and talking to us about all this and all that. So this is really an eye opener, because I myself as a business owner didn't realize how important it is in order to get ourselves protected from hackers and all that. So thank you very much. I think today's session has been really fruitful, and we look forward to working with you guys in the future. Definitely.
Yes.
Likewise.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
both
so
of
much,
guys.
everyone.
So
Stay safe.
all right.
Enjoy
So
the
Dex
rest of
and
the day.
yeah, Dex and Andy, thank you very much. You guys have a great Sunday. Let's catch up soon. Yeah.
Yep. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Bye.
Bye. All right. So Ardy, what do you think?
Well, I think I learned quite a bit today, and definitely these are things that I have been considering as well. Personally, I actually use foreign programmers and developers, but of course there's a risk there, because we know from what Dexter and Andy have shared, their country have a different set of standards for PDPA, or even there's no such thing at all. So you're putting your company at risk. So if you have a business that you would really want to protect properly, you should be getting actually local companies, cybersecurity companies like Dexter and Andy. Yeah.
Correct. Not many companies, especially within our community, realize how important data protection is. Yeah, because we receive a lot of databases, right? Especially for my company, I'm actually an event organizer, and we focus mostly on offline. But those data that we have, our clients, our visitors, even our invoices, a lot of documents that we have right now, most of them are in the cloud, or basically we kept it in our computer and laptops, right? But all these are being opened up. All these can be easily accessible to hackers who can literally hack into your system to find out all about this. So imagine them using all those information that they have or you have, and use it and even pass it to your competitors and even your business rivals, and them using it to compete against you and all that. So I think that is something that we as business owners really need to realize, especially so when we are all competing in one single platform right now, which is the online platform. And I think it's really important that we, get ourselves involved with cybersecurity now before it gets really too late. Yeah. What do you think, Ardy?
Definitely. You don't want to actually, prepare an umbrella when it starts raining, right? So you got to actually.
Definitely. Okay, that's a good analogy. But I think for this case, even it's not raining, I think it's better for you to just buy one umbrella.
Yeah, get a big umbrella.
One really big one. Those that you can open from inside the car one, the upside down one. Okay, I think today's today's session has been really fruitful. We talked to two very intelligent guys from antihack.me. They have special promotion, and I think if you guys were to watch our video again, you can see all the promotions that we already highlighted. You guys can just use the promo code BizTalk to enjoy all those promotion, and they are opening it up until the end of this month. That means for the whole of month of August. Right?
Yeah,
Today is the 26th of July.
Right.
Correct. For the whole of August, you may enjoy those promotions they are offering by using our promo code BizTalk right now. All right.
Right.
Okay. Great. So, can I just do some announcement, Adi, as usual?
Yes,
as per
of
normal?
course. Please.
All right. So our session for today is sponsored by the good people from halalmarket.sg. Halalmarket.sg is an e-commerce platform or an online marketplace that that is offering many attractive promotions and discounts from our vendors. Right, for all our shoppers out there. It also creates an online platform for our business owners to come in to showcase not only their products but their services as well. So it's a real ecosystem that business owners and shoppers can come together to like I said, to shop from the comfort of their own home. Right, there's so many attractive promotions and discounts, I would say, that you guys can see from halalmarket.sg. So you just can go to www.halalmarket.sg to shop whenever you guys are free. Yep. Right.
Definitely. Thank you, Fazlin, for promoting halalmarket.sg, because definitely it's that we've been putting a lot of hard work into the site, and the vendors have been actually pushing their products, trying to actually get the best products for the site for all our audience out there. Yes. Thank you, Fazlin, once again.
Okay then, thank you very much. So that's the end of our show for today. Let's catch up again next week. Yep, where we'll be inviting a few more speakers to join us as well. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Adi. Thank you very much. Have a great Sunday and take care, guys. Stay safe.
Take care.